those who are not aware, this is a Newton School's ongoing series where we invite leaders from the talent and HR world to come and talk about their experiences in hiring, in recruiting, and overall people's world. So welcome Praveen, and we can start off with your introduction. People would love to know about your journey, how it has been so far.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sid,
Um,
for this opportunity to share my stories and experience with the Newton schools and the followers of Newton School. Um, I think it was by accident we had a conversation with Newton schools because I was quite impressed with the candidates what you had, the upskilling what you do, and the business model what you had. And then we kind of had a conversation, and then we said, yeah, we can do something big rather than just focusing on this. And that's how we came out with this topic on discussing about, especially about women who want to return to the career.
Wonderful.
So yeah, uh, once again, thanks for this great opportunity. Um, so just to keep it short, not too great to talk about me, but though I have been in the HR industry from almost a decade. I started my career with Mercedes-Benz R&D, and then moved to Airbus. I'm here for almost 11 years right now. Yeah, and I have predominantly had multiple hats, and I'm handling multiple roles today at Airbus. That's something which I feel I'm privileged on that piece. However, currently I'm in addition to being business partner for a particular business unit, I'm heading recruitment and employer branding for Airbus India. So you can understand the topic what we are speaking on today is very close to my heart, both with the hat of talent acquisition and employer branding.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Praveen, the topic today is all about women participation in tech. We'll keep it as a broad-based discussion. And to start off with, basically, Airbus has traditionally been seen as a mechanical or aerospace company, which is particularly dominated by men. But you seem to be doing a good job with gender diversity in your India offices. So, what's the gender ratio like today in India offices across departments?
Yeah, I really love talking with data. So probably I can tell you without any hesitation. Last year, by the end of the year, 22% of Airbus India task force was female candidates. We
Wow.
had female employees, and in fact, in 2020, around 35% of our employees whom we have onboarded was in a very focused and planned mission. We have managed to onboard 35% female employees in various areas, in the area of engineering, R&D, customer services, and IT digital skill sets. So yes, this is a fallacy that aerospace or mechanical is only for women. To be honest, we have partnered with 9 universities in India and a couple of universities overseas. The trend, what we are seeing and what we are listening from them, is unlike before. People who, nowadays, girls wanted to get into aerospace engineering, and there's a lot of competition, a lot of waiting list in the counseling centers, and so on. So probably things have changed because we have also personally put a lot of efforts, with our universities, doing a lot of programs, starting with school children. Like one of the program, what I can tell you, which we are closely working with IISc Bangalore, where we pick around 50 students from the nearby schools, and we train them on drones, we train them on how to make an aircraft, and so on and so forth.
Wow.
We just give them an office tour, how it is, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think you can understand that. So there's a lot of
Wow.
effort from the industry also to remove that perception.
Absolutely. And I can see how serious about you if you're going as far as schools to,
Yeah,
basically address this. So it's
yeah.
amazing. And I think women participation has definitely been increasing. And fortunately, India has the largest ratio of women pilots in the world. If we take the aviation sector itself, though we still need to do a lot to reach 50%, but still it's the largest. So Praveen, like as you rightly said, the percentage of enrollment of new joinees in women has been 35% compared to like the overall participation. That means the figures are rapidly increasing. So what are the
Absolutely.
practices? A lot must have gone behind the scene to make it happen. So what are the practices? What are the trends that you have seen over the years that you have implemented at AIRBUS, which has led to this rapid increase in participation of women?
See, the first and foremost thing is the answer is very simple. We if you are focusing on brand advocates, you don't need to focus on brand recognition. Okay,
Yeah,
and your brand advocates are the women working with you already in your company. So we do a lot of things. We do a lot of things with our internal employees. So first and foremost thing is that the base of the entire piece comes with creating a very inclusive environment,
yeah,
right? And the second most important thing is the kind of development plans we created for our women employees already, right? The kind of benefits, the flexi plans what we have for our women employees, the kind of events we have organized like mentoring, networking, coaching, having a very focused development paths. We in fact have very special programs which are very much focused in developing young women to become women leaders in next 10 years or 15 years kind of thing. That is the kind of projection we have, right? So this all things come back once you invest in them, because they go and talk to you, they ambassador for you, right?
absolutely.
And most of we I just did a little bit of data analysis of what we before attending this discussion. Actually, thank you for the thought provoking topic itself. Most of our women are coming through employee reference.
Wow.
Yeah, because if you see the trend, I mean, this is again, I was talking, I mean, I have actually, thanks to you, I have done a couple of research before I came here. I was talking to a couple of people who have joined us recently, and like, yeah, see, I am hesitating to join a new organization, but if someone speaks to me and tells that this is a great place to work and they really care for women and they really understand, they put themselves in the shoes of women. This is what we wanted to hear from people, and we are game for working there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
Yeah.
see a
So
lot is going behind the scene. Praveen,
yeah.
a lot of women are watching this program right now. Like you rightly mentioned, there are a lot of things that you have done. For example, you talked about the Flexi program, the mentorship program. Would you like to talk in detail about each of these? We can take them one by one, so that even those who are hearing can get to know about how they can apply, and what kind of benefits they'll get once they are in the program, once they are in Airbus.
Sure. Probably I can talk to you about one of our the running program, which we have launched on the eve of Women's Day on 2019.
Okay,
So this program is called as Fly Again. Okay.
wonderful.
Apparently, it was not an easy thing when we actually built up this program. So how the story starts is that we wanted to do something for women who wanted to restart their career, right?
Yeah.
And how this all started is saying that once we got a CV, right, and we picked up the phone and called the candidate, and we spoke to the applicant, the job aspirant. Then she was so thankful to us, saying that I didn't expect this call from you. I said, why? You have applied, so we called you. It's like, no, no one calls us because we have some career gap and so on and so forth. Okay, and then we kind of digged in a little. Actually, the person was really good.
Yeah.
Actually, the person was really good. In fact, the kind of preparation, the kind of dedication they have done for the interview or the conversations, I prefer to call it as conversation, was really nice. And then this triggered a thought to us, saying that I think this is time to think about this perspective. Then we said, well, let's launch a program kind of thing which is very dedicated, but you still have to ensure you have a very focused approach. You cannot deal it like the way you do your regular recruitment. Then we
Absolutely.
found out that there are a couple of returnee programs in the market already. Then apparently I myself have gone to a couple of companies. I have HR folks in my network, and I say, can you tell me about your program and so on, so forth, and kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then again, I took all the inputs from them and I went back to some returnees and said, can you tell me your experience being a returnee and you're working right now and so on, so forth. So the first thing what we said is that lot of places, the women returnee programs are based on internships. So you come, you join us, we'll give you an internship, and then probably we will see if we can convert you in next 8 or 10 months based on your performance. No assurance, but definitely great job experience, great work culture, so on, so forth, preparation. Or we will kind of offer you a certification, which we will take the cost, and we'll also give you a stipend kind of thing, but we will make you ready for the market.
Yeah.
Then we said, no, let's not do this. Let's give a full-time employment like we do, like you, like me, so on. Right? Let's have a select conversation. If we feel we can develop them, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
That's the first step we did to ensure that that inclusiveness is there. Right?
Absolutely.
And you asked me, what are the things you do differently? And we said, the first thing we will do with this returnees is we will not treat them differently.
Absolutely.
Okay. However, we have to be very mindful in understanding how we onboard them and how we handhold them for next 1 year so that we set a path for success.
Yeah.
Right? So here we start, we have development programs for them where we have a very structured development program. That day you join, you get a card for yourself. You need to fill your card and you will be tracked on daily basis. Okay, these are the trainings will be given to you. Okay, all the infrastructure is given. Okay, you will be allocated a mentor. Who is your mentor? Definitely not from your area. It is from other domain. All those kind of very detailed approach, right? And the business partners are very much involved in helping them, understanding the system and growing and so on and so forth. And we also give them exposure to whenever we have some colleagues coming from our mothership from France, Germany, Spain, UK. We kind of make that connect of touch point of at least 15-20 minutes so that there is an exchange, right? And this small piece of thing has created a big impact on the women in terms of the regular people, and then of course we have a lot of programs internally for the women who are already there in the system. Yeah.
Absolutely. Got it, Praveen. So, Praveen, like you rightly said, first thing you did was you treated them the same way you treat a normal employee. That is, give them a full-time employment. And I believe that would have been a great confidence booster for those like who are coming back to work. I think that's the first step that goes there. So in terms of basically what challenges do you see or what things do you see different in, let's say, a returnee woman, someone who is returning to work after, let's say, a gap in their careers versus, let's say, someone, a normal male or a female who is joining the workforce first time, or they are switching jobs? What differences do you see in them?
Siddharth, I think you did as much as research as much as I did. I think you're asking the right questions. And let me tell you this in a very systematic format. This is purely based on experience. I didn't make a slide for this based on data. The first and foremost thing is when I spoke, I was called as mentor for one particular program being organized by a company called as Jobs for Her. When I start speaking to people, what I realize is that the first piece of thing is that should I start my career or not? That is the first hit on the confidence level. Okay, which shouldn't be there. The answer should be yes. In case people who are watching are women returnees, the first answer should be there is no negotiation. It should be yes.
Absolutely.
And the second question which runs in people's mind is that the one which I mentioned as an example, if I apply, will there be an acceptance from the organization?
Yeah.
Please do not worry about that. We are also looking forward for that. The third piece, which is written, which is very much spoken about in many forums and on many stages by many leaders, is that, okay, this tendency is that there is a job description, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only fit for 5. The 6 and 7 is not something which is there in my CV. I don't think so I'm fit for this role. Let me not apply to FAIR. No. Job description is job description. It's okay. You can apply. There is nothing called as 100%, fitment, and especially in this digital era where there are multiple things as expected, right? And the fifth point is that when you come into the interview and all, you have that kind of fear that am I fit for this role, right? And the sixth piece is that even after you selected, here is a main problem. It says, how will the team look at me?
Yeah,
Right? So these are all the things which are common difficulties women face while they try to, I mean, while they try to come back to workforce. Okay.
absolutely.
Now, answering to your question a little more specifically, once they come back here, okay, what we as an organization, especially when we are running the returning programs, we are looking at is a very simple: are they flexible enough to learn, and are they having the willingness to grow? That's it. That's the simple thing
Yeah.
what we look at. And honestly speaking, we have done our batch one of Fly Again, and it is very successful. We are very happy, and that is the reason we have the Fly Again season 2, which is scheduled for 8th of March on the Women's Day of 2021.
Amazing, amazing. Praveen, that's really inspiring. And I just keep coming back to the benefits that you talked about. And those like look really interesting and something that I haven't seen in a lot of organizations. So, for example, the mentorship thing that you talked about. Can you go in detail? The women who are watching this would love to know what it is, because that's a real confidence booster. If you know that even after joining an organization, you'll have someone to support you. So can you talk in a little more detail about what the mentorship program is? What does it entail?
Sure. So even before I speak about the mentorship, I'll add 2 points to it. First, I already spoke to you that Fly Again as a program of Airbus India is not an internship. We take women returnees for full-time jobs.
Absolutely.
Second thing which you might not have heard anywhere, but even we match the compensation with our internal employees, even though they are returnees,
Oh,
right? So to be very specific, if a person has taken 6 years of break but have a 5 years of work experience prior to the 6 years of break, we still value that 5 years of work experience, and we kind of match it with the 5 years of a work experience who is there internally sitting with us as an employee.
that's amazing.
Okay. So that is the second thing. And the third thing, when you're talking about the mentoring piece, so what we do is, suppose we have a person who has joined us as an airframe engineer or a simulation engineer, right? So what we do is that we tag her to a, CTO or a CIO, right? Or a CFO,
Okay.
or some leader, and then we kind of organize mentoring sessions with them. So so every time this particular person has a question, or it can be a discussion about self development or any kind of problem statement on professional side or personal side, there's always someone on mentor who is very neutral party inside the organization, who understands this process as well as how Airbus works, who can keep guiding you and suggesting you on the space. Of course, you have your managers and your HODs to help you out, but it's always nice to have someone at a neutral perspective, right? So this is the kind of support we give you in mentorship. And the mentorship is just not internal, but we also have consultants whom we have onboarded from external agencies. You can call it as ultra neutral.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these mentors, are they typically female or like both male and female mentors?
No, we have both female and male employees who are
Okay,
mentors.
got it. Praveen, would you like to talk about the Flexi program that you mentioned earlier? One of the benefits for women that you have in Airbus.
See, the flexi program, in sense, the biggest thing. I mean, of course, because of the COVID and the pandemic and stuff, so we always have this work from home thing going on right now. So we are very clear that we will not call them until unless they settle down, they wanted to come out, they are comfortable. But however, ensure that the office environment is very safe and no issues at all. So I'm working from office today. Yeah. And yeah, but over and above that, even in general way, we had a flexi work timing by itself. We understood that there are people who would want to start their day early and go back probably at a 4 or 3 p.m. in the evening. They have their own commitments, so we are okay with that. So we also have this this benefit of crash benefit near the campus, so that of course they can take care of their kid and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so the
We,
crash is supported by AIRBUS.
it's completely taken care by AIRBUS. They don't need to pay anything.
Amazing.
Yeah. So in fact, if they do not want to take the crash, but they have some arrangement at home, even we support that also to an extent.
Oh,
Yeah. So that is a kind of flexi workplace we have created.
awesome. Amazing. Amazing. So, Praveen, one thing that I found very interesting was, and this is since at Newton School also, we are running program for women who want to enter or re-enter the workforce. One thing that we see is confidence is definitely something that is the first thing that we need to work upon. Like you rightly mentioned, a lot of people don't even, want to apply to a job if, let's say, they don't match all the 7 items on the JD or things like that. So even small things are very different when it comes to returnee women. So, I want to understand, what all things have you seen that work great, for boosting the confidence for those who are like returning to work?
That's an awesome question, because it will set foundation for everything and it will trigger to the next steps. The first thing what we have done is that we know that we are not experts once they are in, we will handle it and we will ensure we take care of that. But before they are in, we have tied up with an agency who are experts in running these programs, right?
Okay.
Can you believe that we not only have ensured that we route it through them, but we have ensured that even before they attend conversations with us for the job selection and so on, we have partnered with them so that they will have mentoring from the agency. They will have trainings from the agency on how to attend an interview and all, because they are also giving interviews after a long time, maybe 5 years, 6 years, or some people might be few months or 1 year. That's okay.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of preparation we get them done. Once they come to office, let's say, I mean, when I say office in sense, before it was office, now it will be virtual. We don't let them go to the interview directly. We don't have conversations with them directly. The first thing what we do is that we arrange a talk with the leadership.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the last time it was our chief operating officer as well as the director HR. The idea is we keep it very normal talk. The idea is that we kind of give them confidence in the first stage that the push is from leadership. The talk itself says that. The second thing is, when we bring them here, we kind of make psychologically, we make them through a virtual, take them through a tour to the office so that they feel comfortable sitting here itself. The third piece is that even before they go to an interview, we have a one-to-one discussion arranged, non-technical, no discussions on job, with an existing woman employee at AIRBUS.
Okay.
So now they are 50% almost AIRBUS in terms of comfortability.
Very comfortable with the AIRBUS.
Absolutely. That is when we pull them to the conversation and start having conversations with them and so on and so forth. And what we do is that this is the preparation for them. Even before we do this process, from 1 month before, our recruiters, our hiring managers, our department heads, leadership, everyone is sensitized through an external agent who will upskill them on understanding how to deal with these returnees.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that and the extremely good part is that they open up, and when they're in their comfort zone, and they actually, and we are very happy, and that worked for us.
Awesome. I mean, it's like wonderful to know so many initiatives that AIRBUS is taking and the kind of investment that you're willing to put in. And there's some basically you can say kind of delusion among some people, even sometimes returnees themselves, that they might not be as good as people those who have been like continuously in the workforce. It's just a program to basically just for the sake of it. Do you feel the same way? What kind of performance have you seen from coming out from the returnees?
Oh yeah, I just want to tell you that The first thing is that again, I would not mind, I would not hesitate to share some information. Recently, I have launched this campaign of season 2, and I wrote emails to all the managers. Immediately, I have got back emails from the same managers who have hired last year in their teams, thanking us for such a great hire of last time flying in batch one, and they're like, we are very happy with this.
Wow.
In fact, I will tell this to you, Sid, is that you will actually find more dedication and more loyalty from these people, and they're really very good in multitasking also.
Yeah, that is something that is I can imagine totally awesome.
Because they are really prepared very much that they need to learn, they need to pace up, they need to take help from people, they need to upskill themselves, they need to catch up to the existing deliveries, projects, and so on so forth, but still ensuring they manage their that balance with their household work and so on so forth. So there is a subtle balance these people really are maintaining it. That is something which is impressive.
Awesome, awesome. For those, especially women who are hearing this, the returnee program has led to great success for Airbus in terms of not just basically having more women, but also great professional success in terms of taking the company forward. So everyone should feel free to apply to Airbus program. I think we'll also share the link in description and comment. And Praveen is also on LinkedIn. So those who want to approach Praveen, can they approach you on LinkedIn?
Very much. I'm very active on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
So more than happy to support.
So Praveen, I have got a couple of questions, and one very interesting question that I got from a female student of ours today morning when they saw that I was going to interview you was that they wanted to know that post COVID, the roles which can be done remotely for the returnee program, will there be options to do it permanently remotely as well? Is that
See,
something in consideration?
one thing is very clear, to be honest. We all will agree, Sid, and in fact, you will also agree, if being in the edtech domain, everything is possible remotely except for the manufacturing, the assembly line, right? So we all agree that. But, we wanted to have that balance. People are talking a lot about hybrid workplace. Till now, there have been ad hoc decisions taken for a couple of months. But things are, once the pandemic is over and so on, there might be some kind of transformation, like I said, hybrid work place or something like that. However, what happens is that when you permanently work from home, sitting in some corner of the country or the world, that sense of collaboration is killed. That sense of collaboration is killed, and when you actually work closely with a couple of people, the sense of the atmosphere to create ideas, to generate new areas of work or anything, that's killed off. So I think that thought process should be changed, where you need to have a balance of how you will work. You need to work in both the sides and see, because there will be a lot you will miss if you're completely working from home. And
Absolutely.
just as a data point, Sid, we recently did a survey, and most of our employees have chosen to come to office. Of course, with some restrictions and so on. They wanted to come back because they seen the clear differences between working from home and completely and working from office. So nowadays people are choosing to have that balance.
Yeah, get it. Awesome. So thank you so much, Praveen. It was great talking to you. At the end, if you want to leave any kind of message for the audience, that would be great.
Sid, thank you very much for asking very relevant and relevant questions for the crowd today. Um, so for whoever is watching this video now, or for whoever are going to watch this video, I have a couple of comments which I would want to share. The first piece of thing is, please do ensure that whenever you think to restart your career, the answer should be a yes. I have already told you, but still I would like to emphasize on this. And second piece is that there are, let's not get into assumptions that probably, sometimes what happens is that you apply or you actually have a conversation with one organization, but it wouldn't have worked it. So that is not the output. That's a fallacy if you think that it would be repeating every time. So that is something you need to take out. And I'm more than happy to have a conversation. Ping me on LinkedIn. I would love to have a chat with you to help you, mentor you, to guide you. And there are tons of mentorship, retainership programs going across by many organizations. So go ahead for it. And today world, all the companies are prepared to support you in this mission. Yeah.
Absolutely. And as we heard in the conversation, AIRBUS is like the foremost doing a lot of stuff for that. Thanks a lot, Praveen. It was great talking to you.
Thank you, Sid and Newton School. Bye-bye.